and you just keep pounding on food, eating. When the root of it is, it's okay that I don't measure up to perfection, whether growing up, whether in a relationship, whether at work. It's okay. And standing confident. Self-hatred is such a pretty monster that most people don't even realize they have self-hatred. Every time they open up their mouth, they spewing out negative thoughts towards their race, towards their culture. But this is, when you look down at your skin, that's you. You hating the fact that you're a male. You're hating the fact that you're a female. But you was born this way. This is very heavy. It's heavy because if it's not us going through it, it's our kids going through it. And we have to be able to identify it and have serious conversations. If your child is walking around saying, I am ugly, where are you getting that from? Is it because someone told you at school? And now you have to affirm that negative imagery towards yourself? Let's talk about that. Who wakes up? Who goes to sleep saying, I am ugly? Unless someone that doesn't like themselves. And so this is a very heavy topic because it can ripple into so many different behaviors. If it's not plastic surgery, is I'm not satisfied with myself, so I need to affirm through sexual activity that I'm wanted, even though I don't want my own self. So I cover it up by always jumping from person to person to person to person to person to person to person. And with men, it could look like, oh, he getting a lot of women. But at the end of the day, can he stand by himself? Can he stand alone and enjoy himself and enjoy his existence? Or is he identified by his sexual activity? And if that's not going on, then he's not happy with self-hatred. Is she running from person to person to person to person? All because her body is not shaped a certain way? So she perfects the sexual experience with a person? So it can affirm that her existence means something? And that dives back into the topic of sexuality versus identity. But this is how poisonous self-hatred is. It spins into so many different other things. The term self-hatred can refer to either a strong dislike of oneself, one's own actions, a strong dislike of your race, your gender, your nationality, your sexual orientation, or any other group that classifies you. A strong dislike. Why do I feel like this? Because you're you, and it's okay. Now the question is, you need to rest in why you feel that way. And if that's a part of you that keeps reoccurring, you need to stand confident in it. It doesn't equate to, okay, standing confident and being affirmed in who you are and what you like and what you dislike does not mean you got to disclose everything to everybody. Self-love. Loving your own thoughts. Oh, you're not supposed to feel that way. You're not supposed to want that. You're not supposed. If that's you and it keeps reoccurring, embrace you. Self-hatred has you thinking your body image is negative. If you're not a certain size, if your body is not shaped in certain portions, then you are devalued. And that's perception of self. That's before you even exit your bedroom into the world. I remember when I was a size 0. I know, it's crazy. But I was a size 0, size 2. And I was in my 20s. And I was practicing being a vegan. And I was going to the store shopping all the time for a size 0, size 2. And I was enjoying myself. I stood confident in that. I enjoyed that size to the point I just love going to shopping and going through the racks and finding a 0 or 2. Then I got into my 30s and different portions of my body started blowing up. Now, a size 0 and 2 is long and forgotten. But I stood confidence in a 0 and 2. And when I became a 4 and 6, I stood confidence. But that was a process that every individual after their teenage year grows into. Your teenage years is usually awkward. Your body is changing. And those that are listening that are going through the teenage stage, when you're a teenager, some things are ill proportioned. And as you develop into the adult that you will be, it kind of evens out. The nose might look awkward. The face might be bumpy. Your eyebrows might be off. That's why it's a certain age for plastic surgery. Mainly because things get all out of whack during your teenage years. And you kind of really got to ease up on yourself during that time. You can't be that critical of yourself. When you're critical of your skin going through puberty, you can't walk with your head down. Not giving people eye contact. The crazy thing, everybody goes through puberty. It might look different in other people's lives, but everybody goes through it. And most of the time we don't enjoy it because things get out of whack. And then as you the more you get closer to the adult stage, things start evening out. Your skin start clearing up. Your body start evening out. Those big ears start making sense to your head, because then your head those big feet start evening out as you get taller. And so the little insecurities that you have when you're a teenager is normal. And that's what you need to affirm in your mind. It's normal. You're going to go through this stage. And those that are parents that are listening to the podcast, you should affirm your kid during that stage. It's normal. You're going to feel out of whack. You're not going to be as confident. But do you stop existing confidently? No. You should still give eye contact, walk with your head up, walk with your posture up, because you're changing, and you're changing in a good way. You're no longer having a kid body. There was a movie back in the day called Interview with a Vampire, And one of the victims actually was a little girl. And she remained that age, don't matter how old she got. And she got so frustrated because she remained this little girl and she was like 80 years old. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about looking in the mirror and just remaining small. If you don't grow in height, you grow in features. If you don't grow in features, you grow. It's so many ways you develop into an adult. And some people stop growing. I stopped growing like 16. That was it for me. I was 5'4". I've been 5'4" in my adult life, and I'm confident and I'm cool with that. I never looked and said, I can't wait till I'm 5'6". No, 5'4" wasn't the end of the buck for me. And I loved my height. I started growing confident in my height. Like, oh, okay, some people are taller, but big deal. I'm small and short, and I like it. And I had to grow into that. You can't hate the unique way you were made or wired. If you are more sensitive than others, if your empathy line is way bigger than others, if you're way more compassionate for animals, however you are wired, you can't hate it. Look at it as a unique way you were developed and embrace it. Because if you don't, it will ripple into so many other things. All of a sudden, you'll be pushing yourself to be this very violent person, when in actuality, you're sensitive. Walking around angry all the time because you don't want to show how sympathetic you are towards people. It's okay. Because after you affirm that this is part of you, you still are responsible with guarding your heart and building healthy boundaries. And there's a difference between being angry and restricting people by deflecting emotions and building healthy boundaries so you can have healthy relationships, associates, being cordial with people versus intimate, having deep relationships with people. And so you begin to label things appropriately because you build healthy boundaries after knowing what makes you tick. Then also out of self-hatred can come self-harm. Self-harm. Self-injury, self-inflicted pain. You start burning yourself, cutting yourself, beating, punching on yourself. It gets really ugly. Start bleaching your skin to a point that people don't even recognize who you are. It's certain disorders that ripple out of self-hatred that when not dealt with, you lapse into depression. You have identity crisis every day. To loathe over your existence is dangerous. is dangerous to yourself.